This is how many poems are in my Songs That Don't Rhyme blog. I've got them all listed on my own little file structure here, and it's you see that I have the dates right alongside the titles. It's too bad that Blogger doesn't do this, doesn't let me display all of my titles on one page the way I'm able to do when I code it myself, because that's very useful, having the date next to the title and having everything, the whole blog all together on one list on every page, instead of the way Blogger does it, where they cut you off at your 10th post and then you have to have another page, or it shows another month, and they don't just have it all together where you can just all see clearly and have the dates along everything. And you see here, I posted 2 poems on February 5th. I posted 4 poems on February 6th. I posted 2 poems February 7th. I posted 3 poems February 8th, 2 poems February 9th, 4 poems February 11th, 3 poems February 12th, 2 poems February 13th, 2 poems February 14th, 2 poems February 15th, 3 poems February 16th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 poems on February 17th. And that's how I was able to write 150 poems in just a couple of months, because I just spent all day writing poems. And slow this down, download this, slow this down, however you have to do it, to make sure that my blog online corresponds exactly to these titles and dates in my Songs That Don't Rhyme blog. Please. I'd really appreciate it. Oh, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna recite here? Jackie the Pro about Jay Leno being a gangster? Well, that was supposed to be my joke, and not a very funny one either. You see, when they take a poem like that, where I criticize them, like say Sappho asparagus, okay, let me recite it to make my point. Let me just recite it here. Sappho asparagus. Okay? Tell me, this poem I wrote to criticize Ellen DeGeneres because she was stealing my poems, she was stealing my blogs, and it was driving me crazy. And of course, I can't go get a gun and kill her or anything like that. I probably wouldn't even get within a mile of her. So all I can do is take my anger out in some way through my work, take my violence out through my work, and it has a kind of calming effect once I start working on it, and it calms me down. And when I can write a poem like Sappho asparagus about a monster like Ellen DeGeneres, it's very therapeutic for me. It lets me take a brutal crime and tone it down. So we have a poem here that has got a very gentle tone to it, because I was kind of trying to use it almost like as Valium, as like a kind of sedative against what Ellen was doing to me on television. It's called Sappho asparagus, which of course is not hard to figure out, that Sappho is a famous lesbian and asparagus is a vegetable. It's not hard to figure out. Sappho asparagus thrived on the daytime, bored tots to sleep at the peak of their playtime, letting mothers stretch out their bones, freedom delivered in televised drones. Feared as a rebel for dressing too frumpy, into the spotlight her passage was bumpy. Spilled her fruit juice, was not upset, only the tip of her napkin got wet. Along came Amelia Artichoke, whose shriveling blossom was more of a joke. No one could say, as their paths crossed, whose show would stay and whose would be tossed. Sappho prevailed, for her legs were stronger, able to stand up and murmur longer. A screenplay of her daunting trials may one day be used to help clerks with their files. So what I'm saying there in so many words is that this lesbian vegetable is boring. And boy, I needed to say a lot more than that, but that was good enough for the moment. And when she stole it, what did you think when she stole it? What did you think? Did you think that she was a boring lesbian vegetable? Did you think that? Like I did when I wrote it? No, you thought she was clever and you thought she was funny and cute. Instead, well, that's not what I wanted you to think. That'll do for the recitals for today.